Welcome back to my channel. So previously I told you that I will be starting a session which has to do with tutorial videos, and that has to do with Premiere Pro, the industry standard editing software that every professional video editor is expected to know. To be able to kickstart that, I told you that I will be taking you every step on the way to make sure that you know the basics and also launch into the world of video editing. So if you are here for the very first time, I want to say a very big welcome to you. Do remember to click the subscribe button if you haven't done that. Turn on the notification bell so that the YouTube algorithm will notify you of our subsequent videos. So this video will be coming in different sessions where, for a start, I'll be leading you through as to what the interface looks like, how to import projects, and also do some simple editing. After that, we'll be talking about some other key things that has to do with video editing, like sound design, color grading, and also how to export for different formats. We'll be sharing some tips and tricks as to how you can get your jobs done easily right here on Premiere Pro workflow. So to get that started, I'll be showing you what my interface looks like. So you do well to follow me alongside, and please don't skip any step. Every of the steps are very much important because skipping will not help you. So if you want to get every of the gist, do well to follow me. Let's just dive in. Once you open your Premiere Pro, I am using the Premiere Pro that is 2022. You are going to cite something like this where you see new project and open project. Now, what this new project means is that for you that is starting out that haven't done any project before, this is where it gives you the opportunity for you to create a new project, more like a new workspace where you haven't done any job. So it's assumed that that room is very clean, so you can be able to arrange your bed, arrange whatsoever. I think you get that. On a particular project that I've worked on before, I don't need to create a new project. I'll just hover over one of these and then click on it, and instantly it opens it up. But for the purpose of this tutorial, because of those that are not conversant with what Premiere Pro timeline is like, let's create a new project. Here we'll just type in tutorial. You're going to see the second one which says location, and this location you can see the directory or the place where it's telling you to save. On my own, by default, is in documents. So it's always advised that for a start, please do well to be so organized, because it gets to an extent where you as an editor might get confused as to where you've kept your files or your Premiere project files. So you wouldn't want to get lost in the course of things, thereby searching around only to end up frustrated. So for the purpose of this tutorial, we'll give it a definite folder in my video, because we'll be working with video. So you come over to your video session and then you create a folder. Come over to the next where it says general. Here you do not touch any of these settings. I advise, please do not touch any of these things. You can come to your scratch disk and you're going to see that for the fact that we've been able to create that folder in our video folder, which is in the local gallery, it has also given us the opportunity if we still want to save in that same folder. So for it to be safe, I will advise you leave everything to be in that same folder, like everything, both your captured video, both your captured audio, your video previews, and all whatnot. Just come over here and say okay, and you'll be greeted with the proper Adobe Premiere interface. Now, looking at the interface, you might get a little bit confused, but don't worry, because I promised you that I was going to show you the easiest way to be able to do that. So if you look at these panels, you see that they are docked together, and this docking together does not mean that they need to be like this. You might decide to customize it, put it in such a way that you will understand. So Premiere Pro gives you room to do any form of modification and put it the best way it will suit you. So we are going to undock some of it, and usually this is what my workflow looks like, or my interface per se. I like to bring my project panel over to the left hand side, that is at the top left hand side, where I will keep it alone. I don't like to modulate with any other panel. As you can see, there are different panels that are associated here. There are so many of them. I will also show you how to exit some of them, because not all of them that you'll be using as time goes on. So for those ones that will be so much important to you, to use as a beginner. I'm going to show you some of them. Maybe with time, you can now discover others that you think might be necessary. If I hold this project tutorial and right click and hold it and drag, you're going to see that there is a blue highlight here. You can see all the highlights, both right, left, down, center, any side you want to drag it to. So for me, I like to leave it here. So once it's here, now look at this highlight here. You might decide to draw it left and right to enlarge it best way possible for you. Then you can decide to also move this. You can see that looks like a divider. You can decide to bring it to your own size. Then for this media browser, for me, I don't see the need of it. I will say close panel. So I'm going to close it. Libraries, I'm going to close the panel. And also infos, I don't really see the need of it. Maybe some other people might find it, maybe even the history. But for me, then for these effects, I usually leave my effects here. On the source panel, you have this blue tick, this blue box, which houses other panels. Once you click on it at the top, you are going to see what they do. And for some of those ones that we've closed, those panels that we've closed, if you come to Windows, you can see that all these things that are highlighted, the ones that are marked good, that they are the ones that are right here on the panel. So if I decide to bring back the info and I click on info, it's going to reflect. You can see that here. To close panel, this is it. Once you highlight on anyone you want to close, you can say close panel. Then you can also undock, meaning that the moment you undock, you can decide to just separate that particular panel, then take it to whichever part that you need to. But I don't think there will be need for that. So just let it be. This is your project panel. Here you bring in all your workflow. On the source panel, you can do your edits, bring in whatsoever you like your audio. You might decide to bring in just audio or just your video. Yes, do that little edit before bringing it into the timeline. On the program, you have, this is where it displays everything that you are working on your timeline, like where you're going to see it in real time. Anything you see here on program panel, that is exactly what you are working on. Like it's just like an output of everything you've done. Now, this timeline panel is where you're basically going to be doing all the editing. And that is this. Here, you do all your cutting. In fact, every of your job is done here. Your rough cuts, your whatsoever, your effect. Once you drag it from the panel, you are coming over here to drop that. Then you have your effects panel. This effects panel, like I said, houses all your effects, your presets, whether your transition, your audio transition, whatsoever. Apart from this one that are inbuilt effects, you have the opportunity of downloading some from places like Motion Array, Miskit, or even Envato, and so many others for you to be able to work in Premiere. This effect control is where you have the opportunity of tweaking your effects. And you also have your tools panel, which you'll be using to work, like your cut, your selection tool, which is also termed as V. You can see this one, which is marked selection tool, and it has some shortcuts, which is V. You also have the track selection forward. Just go through them, and you have the razor cut. So some of these things, you'll be needing them, like you'll be needing them. This panel here is where you'll be able to monitor what your audio looks like. If the video that you bring into your timeline does not have audio, automatically you're not going to see anything here. So right here on the file, you have new, and if you click on this arrow pointed to the right, you're going to see project. Now, what this project means is that for you to create new project, you can still be on this particular workspace and create a fresh project, but we won't be doing that because we already have something opened here, which is our tutorial video. Then you also have the sequence. Now, the sequence is just like different compartments. What that means is that while you are working, you might decide to like open up other compartments where you have one which has to do with the complete video. Then the second one have to do with like your shorts. The third one have to do like with something else. You also have your legacy title. Then this legacy title is where you can input your title, but that notwithstanding, this is majorly for the old set of this. There is still a new panel where you can do this, and that is the essential graphics panel. Then you have Photoshop file. All these things are minimal. You have the bars and tones where you can bring in some of these tools to work with. You also have your black video. It's more like something you create here. We are going to be trying some of them. That is if need be. You have color matte, HD bars and tone, universal countdown, transparent video. The second one says open project. Now this open project is more like if you already have a job that has been done before that you wish to bring in, you can just click on the open project, locate that particular file and bring it into Premiere Pro. Then the open recent, this has to do with the recent jobs you've been able to do here on Premiere Pro. But I guess maybe as a beginner or someone who is meeting Premiere Pro for the first time, you are not going to say this, so don't bother yourself. But if there is any job that you've done and you've exited from Premiere Pro, you have the opportunity of just clicking on it and you are right inside. Then save as, you have save. Now save here does not mean exporting your video. Exporting and saving are two different things in Premiere Pro. Let me explain. When you say save or save as, what it means is that what you're saving as is your Premiere project, not the video itself. Now, it will help you to be able to like retrieve the last work you've done. Then you also have save as, if you want to save to a particular location or a particular destination and all that. So ignore them. Then you come to import. Now, this import, there are also methods through which you can import your videos. You have 3 methods. I'll be showing those methods by the time we start, and this means bringing in video into your Premiere project to work on. Then you also have the export, meaning that you wish to now bring out the final work for you to be able to post on any social media platform or play on any digital appliance. Then get properties and files, all these ones you can try. Then you also have your project manager. There are things you can do here. Maybe with time you will get to know about it. Then you come over to edit. Some of these things are not really highlighted because we do not have any stuff here. Then you also have keyboard shortcut. Once you click on this keyboard shortcut, you'll be met with this interface. Now this keyboard shortcut tells you that while you're working with Premiere Pro, there is no point for you to run around. There are some certain shortcuts that for you to get some certain things done, you don't need to start going about seeking for the tool. Just click on those shortcuts. And you also have the ability to customize them as you wish. As you go on, you are going to be seeing some of those shortcuts that will be attached to some of the tools that will be meeting here. Then you also have your preferences. Right here on the preferences, you have something like the general, the appearance, the audio hardware, the audio autosave and capture. Then usually whenever it has to do with some of these things, please be careful. Do not just delve into those places to do anything, because once you distort it, it's going to take you time, most especially as a beginner, except you've already mastered the craft and you already know your way around. That is the only place I can give you the opportunity to do this. And also, you can even come here to even save do some settings on your autosave. Now, this autosave, let me see hint on it. Please, while you're working on Premiere Pro, always learn to save. Consciously and unconsciously, you are working Ctrl S. Just keep saying Ctrl S, and that way you'll be saving yourself a whole lot of stress. Premiere Pro is one of those softwares that can give you headache. Now, you'll be surprised that you as a beginner editor, you just started working and all of a sudden you start finding out that your system is becoming so laggy and something is beginning to occupy your system that you don't even see. Reason is because while you're working, Premiere Pro is also trying to help you do those jobs, thereby saving some of these small files that they call cache. Though some of them are not relevant. At the end of the day, I might be showing you how you can be able to clear those cache so that you'll be able to save space. Some of those cache play an important role, I know, but still, it gets to a point where you need to clear them so that you'll be able to relieve and let the system breathe properly. Then playback and trim, all these ones, you can try it out on your own, but I wouldn't want that for you as a beginner. Then you have sequence, you have clip, after clip, you have sequence settings and all these ones. You have marker, your graphics, that is if you want to do any graphics job. But that being said, you might not even need to come to these graphics. You can just come to your window and say essential graphics and it opens the panel for you properly where you can do your graphics. If for any reason you are working and you discover that you've messed up your workflow, you might decide to just come to your workspace, come here and say reset to saved layout. Instantly it will reset it, and you can find some of those ones that have already saved right here. I believe that you've been able to get one or two from this. This is what the Premiere Pro interface is all about. It is very simple. Just if you follow these simple steps, I'm very much sure you're going to have a bright future right here on Premiere Pro and kickstart your video editing properly as a professional. So with this, I don't think there's any other thing you'll be needing to know. Some of these things, as time progresses, you're going to get used to them. Just take it one step at a time, and within the shortest possible time, you start to see the progress. So in the next video, I'll be showing you how you import and also how to organize your workflow in Premiere Pro. I want to urge you, do well to click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and also try and drop your comment in the comment section if you have any question regarding what we have just said on this particular tutorial. Until I see you again, do have a pleasant time.